So this is the calm before the storm, before the concert that is going to be Bon Jovi here at the BBC Radio 2 in concert, and this is the man himself.
Hey,
Hi,
Joe.
how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. What do you make of our place? It's very pretty here tonight.
I'll take some of these lights from my kitchen, actually. I wouldn't mind having one.
They're coming in my kitchen first. I quite like this.
You know, it's pretty nice.
And quite a small and intimate venue for you to be playing.
Yeah, but no matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 200 or 100,000. You want to be great.
But does it? What problems or what situations occur when you're playing a smaller kind of venue like this? Is it more exciting for you, or is it more frightening?
No, it's the same. It's just, I mean, this is no different than Hyde Park, really.
Not in the way that you play. You don't have to move differently because you're confines of space and everything when you're on stage.
Well, perhaps you could run around and do your best Jagger moves, but that just maybe naturally takes over. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But I never think about that. The prancing about. But the performing, the playing, the singing, the songs, the stuff, that's the same.
Okay. You excited about tonight?
A nervous energy based, we've played Because We Can today for the first time live on radio.
Sounded great. I listened to it.
It's good. I'm glad. But I'm telling you, this band doesn't rehearse.
Really? Okay.
This
so this is a rehearsal tonight?
It's funny because we sat around last night going, maybe it's time to change our attitude, 25 or 30 years into this. We rehearsed Sunday, Richie didn't show up. So we rehearsed Monday with him. And then we came here last night. Thanks for coming. He's like, there was a football game on Sunday.
He was watching football?
It's unbelievable.
Fine. We should say this is the web chat, and welcome to everybody who's here to watch this. I shall ask some questions from people from around the world that have come through. So, Maria Vigo says, and also a similar question from Panos Sal. How is the What About Now album going to sound? Will it be rock or something different? And is Because We Can the sound of a start of a new Bon Jovi sound? So this album, basically.
Well, you know what I like to think is that every album's somewhat of just a continuation.
Evolution.
In an evolution, for sure. But the continuation of a sound, because the book is yet to be written as to where did our sound go, why did it go there. While trying to remain relevant and contemporary, you're aware of new technologies. But that aside, we're the same storytellers we always were. You just mature some because of life experiences. So they have much more of a social context than, you give love a bad name, but just a different point of view than Runaway. I mean, that was a social overview of, kids on the street, right? So now you've got a situation with What About Now, social overview, but from a vantage point that's different.
But with the sound of the band and the noise that you're making, how is this an evolution as well?
Well, technology is your friend, I think the way we go about it is utilizing that technology, whether it's new synthesizer sounds or Pro Tools, as your friend to edit and change songs around. You could change tempos after the fact or edits and the song without cutting tape and then hit a button and go back to normal. So much so that when I told you that we had to rehearse today, believe me, arrangements have changed while I'm in the studio and they're gone.
Spontaneity is great, isn't it? That's what it should be about.
Well, I like having the button.
And just play. If you ever got to a position where the obvious thing for you to do, for Bon Jovi to do, would be to rely on the back catalogue, to just do a greatest hits tour, what would the conversation be?
It's a real short one. But I've said this since I was 25. I said the day that we're not relevant in making #1 records at a comfort level that we're accustomed to is the day that I say that's the end. That's it. It's over. If we were ever on one of those nostalgia kind of tours, God bless those people, but I'm not interested. I'm done.
How do you know that you're still relevant, and what kind of feedback do you get from people that makes you think this is okay?
Well,
we
if you're still
shouldn't call
selling
it a day
4
now.
million tickets on the last tour, or you have a #1 album around the world, that means it's relevant. If we're playing a bar because we had to, as opposed to because we want to, that's the difference.
I was reading, it was quite an old interview, and you were saying about bands that you listened to, and you were listening to Damien Rice at the time, that album O, which is amazing, and Amy Winehouse as well at that time. So you still have a love for all different kinds of music. It surprised me that you like that kind of music, which I don't mean to insult you, but I had no idea that you had really wide-ranging tastes.
Yeah, look, as a songwriter, you got to appreciate everything. It doesn't have to mean that you like everything. But I've always, been drawn to the singer-songwriter much more than the fast guitar player. I mean, there's a reason why I'm the singer. I get to be the storyteller, and that always appealed to me more.
Who are the great storytellers that you like at the moment? Are there bands that you enjoy?
Well, I don't know that I'm paying attention as much to new as I am to the greats. You know, Cohen and Simon and Waits and Dylan, and you know that kind of storyteller. Damien Rice's that O album was one of the greats.
And high time you brought a new album out. I've been waiting a long time for new Damien Rice.
You and me both.
Okay, more questions from Terry Newell. You've got a tour coming up this year, including headlining the Isle of Wight Festival. You seem to choose the places that you play. You're doing Hyde Park as well, because of the legacy of those places, because they mean something to you musically.
They do to me. You know, I mean, when we grew up, those were the aspirational gigs. Whether it was Madison Square Garden or Hyde Park or Wembley Stadium or whatever it was around the globe. So I watched the Olympics on TV. Believe me, last summer the phone call to Paul, my manager, was, Paul, I want to be the first one to play the Olympic Stadium. And he called 10 days ago and he says, well, they're ready to do a show and you're the first. I said, nah, too late. You know, I like Hyde Park a lot. You know, so I said, can I do both? He says, you're doing Isle of Wight.
Don't be greedy.
All right, fine.
So you've never played the Isle of Wight before?
No, of course not. No.
You know how you have to get there? There's a ferry involved. Everybody has to travel on the ferry. It's
Really?
a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
There were issues with the rain last year, and there was a real big ferry situation where everything was backed up. But it's fun getting there. And it's a
You don't
beautiful
chopper
place.
in, you take a ferry?
Not me personally. Maybe you have that option. That hadn't crossed my mind.
I could jump out of the plane like the Queen did with James Bond and just
Yeah,
land
you
on the
should
stage.
so do that. Terry also asks, is there anywhere in the world that you would like to play but haven't yet?
Israel. One of the few left. We keep checking off little things as we went on, and Greece was one. We got to do Greece on the last tour. Israel's one.
Okay. Are there plans? Are there conversations that might well
There's
happen?
been 100 times, just nothing's come to fruition.
Okay. Sue Jones, having been a lifelong fan of Bon Jovi, having seen you in concert 26 times, how do you decide on your playlists? Every time I see you, it seems fresh and new. This is because you make it up as you go along, is that right?
I do it on a nightly basis. You know, honestly, you walk into a sound check at 5 o'clock and you go, today will be, and then how you feel.
Good.
You know? Yeah.
Sarah Baker, I saw a lot of footage of Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey was one of the areas badly affected. How did it affect you personally, and how's the recovery going? I know you were very much involved.
Recovery, yeah, I was very involved. I was here when it hit, and I was able to get out a couple of days later, which was really put me off, you know, because you felt disconnected from your family and your friends and everything. But got home, have been very involved. Recovery is generally good, but spotty. You know, there's need. But the bond of the people in New York and New Jersey, the way we come together in times of need is exemplary. You know, people really put down all government, you know, party lines. Both governors came together, the peoples came together, the musicians came together, so we did what we had to do.
Chloe Lewins says, can you see yourselves playing for 50 years, like the Rolling Stones? I guess we've got Bowie back as well, haven't we?
Amen to that, too. We have always held the Rolling Stones in the highest of esteem. And I always have said that they'll set the bar. The day they say we're done, then at least I know where the finish line is. Yeah. But we played 12-12 together, and I went down in the pit with a camera and shot like a photographer. And I was just in awe. I was just howling. And then the next night, and it's the only band on the planet that after 12-12, I was pretty beat up. I went to see them at the Prudential Center. I couldn't barely keep my eyes open, but I was there in awe. The Stones are it. Now, to answer your question, hell no. I just don't see me doing that at 70 like he. You know, God bless him for it. I don't think I can hold it.
Why would you not?
You know how bands have aliases when they check in hotels? You know what my name is?
No, go on.
Humpty Dumpty.
Because
they got to put him back together again.
Well, it must be like the ultimate fitness regime when you're going out on the road. You've got an album, you've got a tour that you're doing.
It's taxing.
Yeah, because Bruce Springsteen surprised everyone last year when he was playing for 10 hours at a time. And physically, it must really take its toll.
It does take its toll. It's difficult. It's you know, it's not as easy as it seems. It's all different muscles. You could be a runner like I am, an avid runner, but it's all different muscles.
Do you lose weight from the beginning to the end of the tour?
You know why? You notice me sometime when I'm really playing. I drink so much tea and water and stuff that no matter how much I'm dripping wet, I'm just replenishing it during the course of the whole night.
Yeah. And when you're facing the prospect of being out on the road, as you are now, where you're going on a world tour, what do you pack in your bag that keeps you sane and keeps you happy? And
All right, imagine there's 4 guys in the band, right? There's me, Richie, Tico, and Dave. Me, Richie, Tico, Dave. Who do you think has the most suitcases?
Is it Richie?
Yeah. Everyone's been guessing that too. Who do you think has the least? Me.
Travel light.
I have nothing. I have a 30 pair of jeans. I travel one little bag.
Is it your phone or something like? Is it somebody you in contact with people, or is it?
Yeah, I have a
to do with
computer and a
music?
phone, but
Okay,
I mean,
and
I have nothing.
You're not the Elton John of the band.
Oh no, Richie's the Elton
He's
John.
the Elton
No,
John. John, it's been an absolute pleasure.
he's backstage right now
Lovely
going.
yeah, pleasure to talk to you. Have fun tonight and have fun on the rest of your world tour. Good luck.
Babe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank
That was
you.
great.
No, that was good. Told you it'd be painless. It was all right.